Rain again. Of course. The air smells faintly of diesel, regret, and Greggs. You pass your usual landmarks, the flickering street lights, the bin that's somehow always full, and the one guy who insists 7 AM is a good time for a fucking phone call. The pavement's slick, your shoes squeak, and the only thing more dead inside than you is your phone battery. You check the time. You're late. But time's a construct, and you're probably late anyway. You ever get that feeling someone's watching you? Not in a romantic way, more in a you're about to feature on a true crime podcast sort of way. The street's too quiet. The air feels heavier, like it knows something you don't. Even the bloody pigeons have called it a day. You keep walking, try not to look behind you, because that would make it real. There's a prickly feeling on the back of your neck, the same one you get when your boss says, "Have you got a minute?" You tell yourself it's nothing, probably just anxiety, or caffeine withdrawal, or karma catching up with you from that time you ignored the charity email. But deep down, you know something's off. You're being watched. Suddenly, you see a large figure trying, and well failing, to hide behind a lamppost. You can't decide if the lamppost is just too small, or he's just a lot of man. Either way, it's not working. For a moment you both just stand there, you pretending not to notice him pretending the laws of physics simply don't apply. It's a standoff. No one says anything, no one moves. You'd rather die than make eye contact. You also try not to think about why he's wearing fucking sunglasses in the rain, because your brain can only handle one weird thing at a time. But then it happens. You look up, you lock eyes. A wild Steven fucking Seagal has appeared. Known for his deadly Aikido and equally deadly ponytail. He's 70% leather jacket and 30% soy sauce. And somehow, wearing sunglasses in the rain like a complete dick. Your phone's at 1%, you're late for work, and now you're in a fight you did not sign up for. You send out your best move, avoid eye contact. It's not very effective. And he mutters something that sounds like Aikido, but that could also be avocado. Moving faster than a jet-powered tractor, Stephen reaches out and grabs your wrist. It's super effective. You don't even know what's happening. One second you're checking your phone, the next, you're spiritually detached from your own skeleton. Your HP drops faster than your will to live on a Sunday night. He stares at you, expressionless, like a man who's just seen the Ford and decided it could use more violence. It's the kind of look that says, "I've been in 3 direct-to-DVD films this year, and I regret none." You try to respond with small talk, something about the weather, but your jaw's no longer connected to your own confidence. Somewhere in the distance, your dignity gets hit with a crit. The music swells, the street lights flicker, the rain intensifies like it's enjoying this. And somewhere, deep in your soul, you knew you never stood a chance. You wake up on a pavement, the rain's still falling, your wrist hurts, your prize gone, and you're pretty sure your Oyster card has water damage. You look around, no sign of Stephen, just a faint smell of soy sauce. You stand up, straighten your tie, and keep walking. Because in this country, we don't process trauma, we just hope the train's on time. You head to work, because what else is there to do? Your wrist is shattered. Not surprising really when your attacker holds every single Aikido belt known to man. They hand you the form. Title, explanation for lateness. You stare at it for a moment, wondering how to summarize your morning without sounding clinically unwell. You write, delay due to an altercation with Seagal. You pause. It just feels insufficient. So you add, He used a technique described in ancient scrolls as a wrist lock of destiny. I lost. You sit back. Steel doesn't capture the pain. They're physical, emotional, and metaphysical. You hand it in. HR reads it in silence. The printer hums, like it's judging you. Finally, the HR rep looks up, expressionless, corporate empathy mode activated. Next time she says, just call ahead. You walk through the office. Your shoes squeak, a sound so tragic it could qualify as a cry for help. No one looks up. They've learned not to. You reach your desk, damp, broken, running entirely on caffeine and denial. You're about to sit down when you hear it. That voice. Soft, judgmental. Karen from accounting. Heard you had a rough morning, she says. You nod, hoping that'll be the end of it. It isn't. Why didn't you run, she asks. You think about explaining that running is useless against a man who's mastered Aikido, a martial art based on redirecting your very will to live. But you know, she just wouldn't understand. I would have run, she says. I've got great reflexes. Pilates. You stare at her, wrist throbbing, soul decaying. Anyway, she mutters, you'll need to log the incident under unexpected martial arts encounters. So who is Steven Seagal? He starred in over 50 movies, none of which anyone has ever finished. He once claimed he turned down The Matrix, said he refused to play Neo unless they rewrote every fight scene to include Aikido. They didn't. The film went on to make £500 million. Steven went on to star in a film called The President's Head is Missing, a film no one's heard of. Unless you're a fan of The Simpsons. The saltwater crocodile has one of the strongest bite forces in nature, about 5,000 psi. Just below Steven confronting a double cheeseburger. Both attacks end the same way. Silence, regret, and a stain on the shirt. In fact, the National Buffet Association once issued a public warning. People are most at risk if they find themselves between Steven and an all-you-can-eat buffet. They said it's not the food that suffers, it's the witnesses. So, what happens if you get attacked by the mythical Steven Seagal before work? Simple. You don't fight back, you don't run, you just accept. Because the moment you see that black leather coat glistening under a streetlight, you realise you were never the main character. You were a background noise in someone else's direct-to-DVD release. Steven Seagal isn't a man, he's an omen. A warning from the universe that things can, in fact, always get worse. Thanks for watching.